Welcome back. At Still Network Africa on Channels Television, a German NGO has released a new video of what it says was its Sea-Watch 3 ship looking for a port to call. According to Sea-Watch, it has rescued 33 migrants from the Mediterranean Sea, most of whom are from Nigeria, Libya, and Ivory Coast. Other nationalities include Mali, Egypt, Guinea, South Sudan, Congo, and Senegal. In a statement, Sea-Watch says it had so far contacted Italy, Malta, Spain, the Netherlands, and Germany, asking to disembark. And now to Egypt, where a small Catholic Christian community attended Mass at church in the country's capital, Cairo. They welcomed the festive season with emotional songs and prayers.
Moving hymns echoed between the walls of Cairo's St. Joseph Roman Catholic Church, where members of the country's Catholic community attended Christmas Mass. Worshippers sang along as a choir, equipped with a variety of instruments, led them in songs during the spiritual celebration. Egypt's Christian community faces pressure from Islamic State militants who have threatened to wipe it out. In November, gunmen killed at least 7 Christians who were returning from baptizing a child at a Coptic monastery. It was the most serious attack on the minority in more than a year.
It exists in a lesser degree today, and there are still some targeting innocents, be they Christians, policemen, military personnel, or civilians. This is very saddening. I will tell the people who dedicate their time and thoughts to this evil, why not invest it in good instead? The world will be a much better place.
At the ceremony, people delved into the spiritual mood, observing all the religious rituals of the Mass. They stood in line to receive sacramental bread, and when members of the clergy carried a statue of baby Jesus into the nativity scene, they stood up to show respect. When the statue was laid down in place, many went up to it to touch it for blessings. Coptic Catholics, who number less than 150,000, comprise only a small portion of Egypt's Christians. The Catholic celebration precedes another larger ceremony when Christmas is celebrated by the country's larger Coptic Christian community. Coptic Christmas is celebrated on January the 7th. The Coptic Orthodox Church is one of the oldest in the world. It is the principal Christian church in predominantly Muslim Egypt. Copts comprise about 10% of Egypt's population of about 92 million, making them the largest Christian community in the Middle East.
And talking about Egypt, an Egyptian woman has racked up awards at the International Bodybuilding Contest, becoming one of the first Egyptian women to win a gold trophy in the European Championship. Bodybuilder Dina Abdel Maksoud said that she was just 11 years old when she picked up her first barbell and began training.
Egyptian bodybuilder and world champion Dina Abdel Maksoud's message to women chasing their dreams is, don't let anyone break you. The 21-year-old has spent the last 8 years defying social norms, recently winning the gold medal in an international bodybuilding championship in Ukraine. When her body started to change, unwanted comments quickly followed. Most people around her did not believe a woman could practice what is widely considered as a man's sport, but she held on to her ambitions.
Whether you are a man or a woman, if you work hard, you will achieve your dreams. If a woman trains hard, she can be stronger than the strongest of men. So do not let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do.
On the average, she spends 2 hours at the gym daily. But when preparing for a competition, she spends almost twice as much time working out. In addition to the increase in gym time, Abdel also follows a strict nutrition plan aimed at increasing muscle mass a feat which is not easy, according to her coach.
She worked very hard and reached a very good level in such a short period of time. In just 1 week, she won 2 gold medals, and this is not something that is easy, because she had to follow a very strict diet, which included cutting sugar, salt, and carbohydrates. So it really took a toll on her emotionally because of the lack of energy. People think it's an easy feat, but it really isn't easy at all.
Abdel Mashouk won first place in the last 2 international competitions which she took part in. She was the youngest competitor on stage and was judged on overall figure and athletic physique.
I guess if you put your hat to it, you can achieve just anything. Now, African artists joined government and stakeholders to amplify calls for the return of African artifacts from the West this year. They also used their skills and imagination to articulate their perspectives on the variety of social, cultural, and even environmental issues. Let's take a look at the beautiful works of art created this year.
This year, it became even harder to mask out the lingering issue of the art looted from the continent during the colonial era. African curators magnify their calls for the return of their artifact after the Museum of Black Civilizations opened in Dakar, Senegal. Cultural centers like that are springing up around the continent in wait for the restitution of the tens of thousands of stolen pieces that experts say represent 90% of Africa's cultural heritage.
Decolonizing art history is a fundamental step Africans are going to take, that we have to take, to demonstrate that these artworks, the discourses that were produced on these artworks, wherever they don't fit, we need to dismantle.
No piece currently exemplifies the galvanizing effects that art can often have on the collective consciousness than Tutu. It was painted by the late Ben Nwanwu, Nigeria's best-known modern artist. The portrait holds special significance as a symbol of national reconciliation after the 1967 to 1970 Biafran War. Tutu was found in a London flat in February and was exhibited in Nigeria for the first time since its 40-year disappearance at ArtX Lagos, a biennial gathering that fetes contemporary African artists and attracts influential collectors, gallery representatives, and institutions from around the globe.
I wanted to create a platform that would place artists on a pedestal, that would see them be acknowledged for the geniuses that they are.
African artists mix their creative genius with individual passion on a variety of palettes this year to help articulate some of the continent's social and development issues. Kenyan painter Tina Benara contrived ways to create pieces using textured materials that the visually impaired could appreciate.
It's done in Braille. It's completely tactile. And the reason is this, because we're doing it for the pediatric children who suffer from early preventative blindness. So what we're doing is we're trying to involve art as a way of opening up doors in their imagination.
Danger is something that most people in Lagos are looking to remove from their daily commute. The government says that by 2020, all 5,000 of these infamous yellow minibuses known as Danfos or ugly buses will be off the road. Nigerian abstract artist Michael Umodit is one of a few illustrators and designers that made their mark this year by taking up a project aimed at capturing this keystone of Lagos's frenetic public transport sector for posterity. Umodit decided to use a discarded Danfo body as his canvas to tell stories of what the 16-seater vans have meant to Lagos since their introduction in the 1970s.
You know, it's like a collection of people from different race, different, occupations, gender, social status as well. So I think it kind of brings people together, and that's what inspired the whole drive to do the Danfo story here.
Young creatives looking to capture history with their art in one part of the continent, and on the other, a sage welcomed several new additions to an already impressive portfolio.
Well, we hope more creative minds do better in 2019. That's it on Network Africa today. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, Merry Christmas and Happy Boxing Day. I'm Anne Mwaudu.